Hello Starfield players, welcome back. Dreadis here. Alright everybody, well, me and Vasco, we're hanging out at the base, and I want to build a ship. What do you think, Vasco? You want to build a ship? Let's take a quick look around, just so you get some bearings as to where I'm at. Take a look at my base. I've got here the new vehicle. It's a little dark right here, underneath the ship. There we go. The new vehicle, which is this fancy thing right here. It has rockets. Try not to hit anything while I'm driving around the base here. So as you can see, I've got all the landing pads. I got the vehicles are coming in, flying in. Got one coming in right now. I don't want to land on it. But yeah, I want to build a ship. I want to build a ship, and I'm not sure exactly what type of ship. But I'm going to build one. And as you can see, I have the Enterprise.
In the future, it may be wise to install airbags in this vehicle.
Airbags, you say? So anyway, that's the base. It's kind of a modular one. Everything's clicked together. And I used a mod to get that. You want to look it up? I'll look it up. In fact, I'll just show you my mod list so that you guys can see what I'm using. Right? So I've got all of these. So you can see better ship part flips, better ship part snaps, place stores yourself, modular series, outposts. Oh, that's the radius. Anyway, you can see there's just tons, right? I have the Inquisitor Star Trek ship modules. That's one of the first ones I got. Just be warned that there are certain mods that need other mods to function properly. So, gotta figure out what's what, right? Like the Matilija or PDY patch or Place Stores Yourself patch. So if you're using the Matilija aerospace, you need to have this patch in order to make it work with the Place Stores Yourself patch. And the Ship Builder Configurator. It was Betamax Outpost Framework. That's the one that was for the base. And DP Aerospace Luxury Habs, which you need to have the Shattered Space DLC to make work. So, yeah, there's a whole bunch of mods there in order to go and get ships that look like this. And so I'm going to go and view and modify my ships. There's a bit of a reflection going on over here, so turn that off. Basically, you got to go and turn off the frame gen that a lot of us have set up or are functioning. So this is the ship here, the Kenworth. I'm going to change it to something cool. Right now it's kind of an ugly beast, right? I might change this one too. These are some of my earlier builds, but right now I have like this razor leaf here, which has full mechs that are deployable from the underside of the wing here. You can see they fold up. And then we have like the missile launchers, and we have the other ordnances that drop in. And then I've got the big bay here and a lot of turrets. So this is a pretty big ship, and it's a modified razor leaf. And I have a video on that one. Actually, I'm not sure if I have a video on that one, because this one's been modified from the video version to be more streamlined. So yeah, but then I have that gunship. This is a Space Goose. I consider this one finished. Not going to do anything more to it. It has a swimming pool, and you know, that's the coolest part. I guess it actually looks like a goose, you know? It's yellow and white, so I called it the Space Goose. Then we have the frigate. And the frigate is frigging awesome. This is one of my favorite ships. You can see here we go into the shipbuilder. I have these guns here, these Matilija aerospace battleship, and you can see the hull damage is 643 and shield damage of 178. So these big boys will punch holes through pretty much anything. And I've got them all set up on this cool looking ship. It actually looks like a ship that would be in an ocean. But anyway, that's one of the ships that I have. And going with that kind of boat theme, I ended up doing an experiment with this. It didn't end up looking as cool as I kind of thought it would, but it did end up looking decent. One of the things about this one was just using the big pieces. So for example, it has the 3x3x2 machine room from the DPA mod, and then it has the HopeX hangar, and inside it has that's the Varun mess hall, but right here is the command center. So it's another massive piece, right? I was trying to fit these big massive pieces in here and make a ship out of it. So yeah. There's that ship. I have a Revelation, so this one's ready to be modified. Well, I could start with this ship. And this is my runabout, which is a completed ship. And the Enterprise, another completed ship, my main ship, the one you saw in the hangar. And it's kind of funny because this one has a pool as well. Got a swimming pool in it. And yeah. Well, there's that ship. Those are all of my ships right now. And my fleet, because I'm playing Watchtower. And this one hasn't been added because it doesn't really match. You can see this one was just basically me trying to make something that looked like a vehicle, like a car, something that we see every day. So it has like struts and it has axles, and I use these as wheels, tank, right? Headlights and an engine, even a hood light, and well, lights on the top here, and this would be like the hood insignia. And I've got the stacks. But yeah, it was a fun build. Has like a clamp in the back. So let's go and make this ship into something else. So we're gonna make it into something that is slick. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna separate everything into groups. See if I can get them on the same plane too. Would be nice. Right now I'm at 0, but if I go and I switch everything to be kind of on the same plane, then it ends up being a little easier to work with. But these are all the HAB units that I'm putting over here. So they're all ones that I have used in the past and I like them. Now I got the elevator. I'm going to actually leave the elevator because it already has all the place stores yourself on it. And so I'm going to separate all these pieces. You can see there I've got the passageway on the windows. The engine of this truck was 4 of these Ulysses H3 tanks. So obviously I don't need that many tanks. It was just for the look. And then the engine was the Gamma Drive J52, and then a Finch 8Z reactor. You can see like I had to go and do a bunch of tricks in order to get this stuff to sit in here, and I had weapons inside the engine bay hidden behind the motor, and it fired just fine. So I checked it. So I have a bunch of cargo pieces right here. And so those are the ones that have the rounded edge. And then I have these ones here with a wedge edge that are the bottom of what was the cab. And then we have this galleon here, which is the one that is the biggest as far as weight goes, how much it can hold. And so I have those ones, and then I have these two back here. There's a couple of haulers. Those ones have the wedge on both sides of them. And so I ended up using them over there, and then I was also using these ones here, these single. They just filled the space between the elevator, and then I have like there's even windows along the back here. There's a gap of windows, and then we have the stacks. So that was how I was getting the shapes. You know, the cargo is really useful for picking out and getting certain shapes that you want. So just a ton of cargo on this vehicle, but it was also used quite a bit to get the overall shape. And then you get into more of the mechanical bits, I guess you could call it. So I ended up using this splitter in order to offset the back here, and so then the cab was on a separate, uh, like it was down the middle, and then these are split into two. So you can see it kind of ended up making like a barbell in order to make that shape. And then these rooms, you can go and walk right into the rooms, walk all the way through, walk all the way in here. So these were all actual living space areas. And you can see here, this was the way in, and this was the docking mechanism. So, and then we used the elevator to pass through. And then there was a whole room back here, including a huge room with a mess hall. So, and then there was also these rooms off the side, which was an exam room and a gym. So that gives you kind of the center framework. So I feel like this was an underappreciated build. And then you can see all the pieces to make the fender, the front bumper, landing gear. I had to fit another landing gear in here in order to hold the weight. And you have like an engine back here. These are the warp engines, the Haven Warp 2 engines. And yeah, so I kind of like the theme of this build, but the fact it's like a transport truck really doesn't work. The red transport truck. So I'm going to turn it into an actual ship. That's up front here, out of the way. And actually the thing that I want to put as my centerpiece is the elevator. I want to keep the elevator where it is because I'm going to use it as the foundation. You can see here I've got a Deimos spine attached to a Warp 2 engine. These are clipped in. These are all my engines. I'm going to try keeping this stuff together. So the engines and the landing bays and stuff like that. Keep that all together. Because these things are the technical bits, you know? Whereas the rest of it is all just like fluff parts. And so like this here, we don't need these risers. But we're going to start with putting a base on here. So base is going to be, so I want to do a pedestal, right? So a pedestal type ship, that way I can have a larger top area and then it can land on the landing bay without blocking other stuff. So it'll end up being, think of like a table with a single leg in the middle. We keep all the weapons together. A few over here. Just clearing this area so I can start working in this area. Wish I could do like a drag and drop, like I just start here, drag, drop. Like drag select. That'd be nice, but no drag select. Alright, there we go. So I don't think I'm gonna need these here. These should all be passenger alongs. Yeah. Passenger alongs. Don't have any on the sides right now. But this is a 5-story staircase, and I believe it has exits on all sides. Or it looks like it's just on the front, the back, and what would be the left side. This side doesn't have any entrances or exits. It's kind of like a sideways. Is it a staircase? It is a staircase. Okay. So I can quickly change this to an elevator. So switch over. So 3-story elevator. I want the 5-story elevator. That's better. Now, did I keep the side? Yeah. So it's still the same setup. Alright, so from the bottom floor, it looks like I had the entrance to the bottom floor this way. So let's go to 0. And that should be about where we're at. Okay. So we have a few choices when it comes to landing bays. There's this Saker Falcon fighter landing bay that's specific to a particular build. We've got these ones here. So this one, the one that we have, let's just pick this one here. This is the Matilija aerospace ship bed landing bay. What's the main difference? Well, this is the standard one, the Deimos one, and the door is at the top, whereas this one, the door is at the back. So, you know, that's handy. So, because it's at the back, we're going to go and we're going to attach it right here. Okay, so this one doesn't need it, right? Here I am doing that, and it doesn't need it. Because this piece doesn't need the passageway in order to get into the ship. So we're going to come straight in and into the elevator and then upstairs. We're going to add some landing gear. So the landing gear that I like, see here, gear. So the lander thrust of 4, so Matilija has a bunch of different ones that, you know, they have attachment points on them, but they have mainly the lander thrust of 4, right? And that's the main thing. But the one that I use, the standard one that I use, is the NG20, because it has a hull of 4 and a lander thrust of 4. All the rest of them are like 1s and 2s. So, you know, the only ones that are viable really are these ones. That one has a hull of 5, right? A mass of 6. This is a mass of 4, so it still has better stats overall. And this is the one that you'd end up using probably quite a bit. So I'm just gonna take these, do that, and I'm gonna grab this whole thing. And because of those, so I'm gonna grab all these pieces individually, because right now, see how it's like red underneath? I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna go there. Now it's green underneath. I'm just trying to keep it to grid. I don't know if it's necessary to do, but what I'm doing. So I guess I could put this back, but this is my pedestal. This is the base, the bottom. And so I can go and move these back one in order to round it out. There we go. Yeah, so I think that's kind of the bottom that I'm looking for. Pretty cool looking, right? Now we can go up to the next floor. We want to put like cabins for people, places for people to live in that area. Just like somewhere close to the entrance, and then you'd have like your hospital and your jail, stuff like that over here. Seems like a good spot for it. I'm gonna go and start with, you'll see a white box around them. These ones right here, the SPE set. SPE set is kind of my go-to for most things. And I might change it after, right? But at least it gives you the first thing that you need, right? So, like for example, the infirmary. And then we have a brig, so there's a brig aft and a brig fore. Oh yeah, so there isn't one on this side, right? In other words, if you want to have rooms here, you have to walk around in order to get to it. Because of that, I'm going to switch this one over to the other version. So let's see, that was hangar 4. So that's the brig back there. And then we'll add another passageway to the front here. What type of room should we use? We can have the infirmary right here. And it can come off the elevator. Right? But we're going to need something in there. What kind of room could we use? Don't want to use the armory because it's too close to the jail. They'll break out and they'll steal the ship. Now, if I want to do some sort of front look here, this is going to take up that space. So maybe I won't use that one. Maybe instead I will use, I believe it's this one here, Varoon empty 1x1. We'll grab this here. Set that there. So now you'll have to walk through there to get over to the brig. Or you can go over here to the infirmary. Those will be the two on that floor. So now, this next floor, kind of feeling like it needs to be empty. We're not going to have anything attached to it just yet. And then we have the upper 2 floors, which are going to have probably more of the bulk of the ship. Probably going to want to come in on a splitter. Let's see, I don't want that splitter, I want this splitter. For this floor. Or maybe for the top floor. Yeah. I'm going to use a splitter there, and I'm going to use a splitter here as well. Making that look. And the reason is because we're going to have them offset and then back up and through. So let's see here. So we can use the armory. Off of that floor as kind of like a walkway. And then we'll use another one like, I don't know if I want to use engineering. The vault is gonna have to be its own thing. But I could use the Varun empty. Okay, so now all those spots are taken up. Grab all of them. Place them over there. So what do you think? Should we have the mess hall top at the front or at the back? Have it here. Have it here. It is a mess hall. So probably want it away from the command center because the command center will be up front. So with the armory, I want the armory there, and then directly under the armory, captain's quarters. The captain's quarters is on the other side of the armory. Now it does show doors all around, but it'll if you attach onto this side, I'll lose my bed. I'm pretty sure the bed is the most important part of the captain's quarters, as well as a little kitchenette. So there, we've got the battle station here, and we're coming up to the bridge. Now I'm going to end up using this bridge here, this Cabot C4. Then we have this one here, big punchy bridge. I haven't actually used it, but as you can see, it has these here. That kind of works with what I'm going for. Or does it? I think the one I'm going to use is this one. Like so. Alright. Now that we have kind of this battle station to hallway splitter thing happening, we have this upper deck. Now how is this upper deck going to play out? You can definitely make a huge ship using this, can't you? Like what is this thing, really? An observatory? Like a hat. An observatory. At an observatory. This is going to be interesting to go and take a look at this ship. Like once it's done, to actually walk through it. I want to see what this stuff looks like. Is that going to really throw off my my landing bay? I'm going to have to do something with the landing bay. Is that I'm not going to be able to have it like over top of this thing. So I should probably figure that out before I get too far into this. So the landing bay is at the bottom right now. But if I was to do a Z flip, as far as errors go, yeah, so Docker module needs to be an outside edge of the ship. So it needs to be higher. Take a look and see how much higher it needs to be. Apparently this one doesn't have a top attachment. There, so one error. The one error, I think I move this one over, move this out, move this back. 2 errors. So it has to be one more higher in order to be on the bottom. Well, it's good to know. I think I'm gonna use this piece for sure. Okay, so now that we know that, we should go and do something with this area right here. The part of it is, you know, function over form. So, let's say we have a crude dormitory. And what was this other one? It's an all-in-one berth. Well, I'm going to use another maroon empty. Alright, so we're going to take this and we're going to switch it to underside. Now it'll dock at the bottom. And move this back down here. We'll just drop it right in there. But then we need access to it. So we're going to need this door here. And set this passageway there. I'll leave that there. And this doesn't need a door because it's to go outside, so it has an automatic door. And so you'll show up here, walk over there, and then same with this one should go directly into the elevator. Not sure how well that will work, but we will find out. And at this point, I feel like I'm going to call this ship the Star Beast. Now, I don't have any way to get into the observatory just yet. I'm about an hour in. I'm going to want to save this in some sort of completed form. Right? So, let's go and do that. Let's see here. So I have an engineering bay. And I can attach that there. So I'll need a door to get in. So I move this out of the way. Set that there. Bring this back over. Move this door into that spot. Bring this over here. And then I'm going to need another passageway. Pretty much done using all these. I could use a bathroom maybe. Bring a bathroom through. What we got here? Crew dormitories ×2. All-in-one berth. Right? Crew dormitory. Canyonway. Oh, the transporter room is here. And this one has cargo and power. We want to keep both of these. Means I'm going to take these, move them back. And then what do we got here? So Sarah's room, a maroon shrine. So Sarah's room can go here, the maroon shrine. Go there. That's a companionway. This is all my cargo. Got a gym and an examination room. Gonna want those somewhere. So really I just have like this grid of 1x1s. right? And I don't know, I can put it over here. And then I'm gonna look at everything else that's here. I think that's it. Alright, so now I have all these 1x1s. And they're kind of attached here. I do need a pathway to get from the bridge over to the observatory. And there's a bunch of entrances along here, which is just gonna pop up normally. So something like Sarah's room, I can change the entrance to it, so it is on this side, right here, and then I can attach it onto the bridge. Now you can just access Sarah's room. It may be open though, that's the only thing. The door may not be there, but we'll find out. And then same with the transporter room. I want that to be over here. So actually, yeah, I'm gonna take this main engineering. I think it can go there too. Then I'm gonna need a door from the main engineering. And then that can go to which one? There's an examination room, there's a shrine, and then the engineering. I mean, I can go straight to engineering, since it is it's an engineering as well, so it's 2 engineerings. And then this one here, I'm gonna go with, I guess, a dormitory, because it'll just kind of be like a sleeping room. And then I'll put the observatory bubble up top. And the rest of these I'm gonna attach. Let's see here. So this is a maroon empty. So right back here. Yeah. That's the one. So I need one of these passageways across. And I'll just put a couple of those along here. Right, and then I'll take these rooms. We've got the gym and a bathroom, a shrine, all in one berth, an examination room. So I think like the shrine, the gym, and the bathroom, they can all go over here. Just set those there. Are they in a middle position? Yeah, so they did. They went into a middle position. They're not supposed to. Yeah, they're supposed to be right there. Snaps can be a bit tricky. Yeah, right there. Alright. The all-in-one berth, well, it can go right on the end of that one. Put the all-in-one berth there. Oh. There we go. A lot of snaps. But you're getting the idea of the shape, right? The shape is going to end up going to be interesting. Okay, so now the engines. So we've got the warp drives, got some big chunky pieces that we got to put in here somewhere. And this one, kind of like the look of it. Might just put that one there. And then this one. Go in there. Then we have a bit of a gap in here that we can fill with something else. I'm going to start deleting stuff. So that means we're at the limit of our landing gear weight. But I can easily get rid of that by just deleting some of these. There, we're back down to our weight limit. Now, as far as all these pieces go, I'm gonna have to get rid of them. So I'm gonna have to keep a bunch of it, but I'm gonna have to get rid of it. What I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to get the framework, right? So because I have that offset, well, I can throw all these kinda in a like a 2x1 configuration. I have this like just underneath. Like so. Well, there's the engines. And then the fuel tanks, now I have these. I only need like I only need one of them. I don't need both of them. And they're kind of awkward. Right? Like I've got 4 right now. I really only need 1. Yeah, they're there for now. I'll delete these. As far as the cowling pieces, I don't think I really need those just yet. But now I need to get the weapons on. And then some cargo. So, we're using the fulminators. Now it'd be nice to have them kind of on like a wing or something on the side. Right? But that's why I usually wait to go and put them anywhere. But the fulminators, I'm just gonna set them there. Take all these. See if I can find a spot for them with what's already here. Doesn't look like there's anything to clip onto. So, we can use... Oh, I thought it was attaching to the other thing. There we go. Like that. We've got kind of a shape starting to form. I'm really just looking to get mounting points. That's 4 of them. I have 1 too many, right? Yeah. Okay, and then these ones here, they have a pivot. So I'm gonna need more pieces. Alright, so I went and I added these in Trinity Demo skirt pieces. fill that space. I then added these brace 4, Deimos bracer 4 aft, and so they kind of clipped in just under here, and then that gave me this little tail piece right here that I can then put this weapon on. And as far as my scan jammer, I'm gonna put it, if I can grab it, I'm gonna put it at the bottom because there's a spot underneath, and I'll show you where. Right here, way underneath. There's a little spot right there. So yeah, as far as the overall layout, right now it's a bit hodgepodge, but everything is in there. I only have one error right now. I do need to get some um, cargo in. So I'm going to flip that over to this version here. I'm going to tuck that kind of... Well, I was going to put it there, but I don't know if I can, because then that'll ruin the observatory. So... And I think this one has to be... I can't have it in that spot either. Or can I? There's a hallway in there? Yeah. There's a hallway, but as long as I can clip... Oh, I can. Okay. It was in the right spot. Right there. Then I'll put another one of these underneath. So. And then I'll just do that. And I'll repeat that on the other side. There, it all kind of clipped in. Alright. So now I'm going to delete all this stuff. And this is just to be able to get it to the point where I can save it. Because right now I can't really save. Just have to hover over it. Okay, so now I need this to actually be somewhere. And I'm going to place it anywhere on the ship, really. Sure, right there. Put it underneath there, the middle. And then as far as Windows goes, I'm just going to not do Windows right now. Everything's normal. There it is, the Space Beast. 626,000, which isn't bad. Now this unit here, this is how much? 156,000. So here's the problem. I'm not 100% confident. So this one's 400,000. I'm not 100% confident that I want to keep that piece. But either way, I'm good with it. 600,000, no big deal. We will well, actually, let's do a flight check, and then we're going to rename the ship. Now it's going to be named Space Beast. Confirm that. The Space Beast. Got all the weapons. Got 80 reactor, 60 equipment power. Let's see if we can max out the cargo. Still normal. Still normal. One error. There, now it's normal. Alright, well that's my weight. So we'll just save it at that. That way I can make it my home ship. Oh, there it is. Alright. Well, there it is, the home ship. Let's take a look and see Vasco. Can we go and wander through it? Still have my Genghis Khan outfit on. Okay, well, I don't see the door on this side, which means I didn't put it through. We'll go to each floor. On the second floor, we've got the medical center. And then we have the walk through to the jail. And here's the brig. And then over here, okay, so this is the exit outside when we're attached to a space station. What is there? Okay, next floor. I don't think there's anything on this floor. Yeah, nothing on 3. Okay, so this one, let's see. Got the Varun Worshipping Center, we've got the Gymnasium. This is where all the 1x1s are. This is the examination room, Varun examination room, the change room, bathroom, and a living quarters.
Yes?
Just taking a look around, Andrasia. And over here we have the armory, the Varun armory, which then goes to the captain's quarters.
Captain on deck.
And it looks like I lost my bed. So it needs to be at the other side of the ship. I have it on the wrong side. Oh well, I'll have to figure that one out. And then we'll go to the 5th floor. We'll check the back first. We go to the split, which then goes into this room. And then this room should have a... See here, this is just a bathroom and a little restaurant, I think, back here. Or hydroponics, yeah. Your chives and different food items. So... That was lighting, maybe? And this one here, I think. I don't know which one opens up the door. There we go. So it opened this up. Okay, so now you can see the gun on top of the window. The rear-facing gun. And then this is the bracket that holds it. And we'll head up to the front. Okay, so apparently those cargo pieces cut into it. You can walk right through it, but visually, probably don't want those there. This is the battle station. And then from the battle station was supposed to be a walk through to here, but I did not put that in. We have a few changes we want to make for sure, just so we can get to the bridge. Now the other way to get to the bridge is to go back out and then come back in. This is kind of part of the whole process for sure. If I go back out, and I come back in, go to cockpit, and then I will get up. So I didn't put the place doors yourself. Oh wow, what is this? This is the new cockpit, is it? Matilda one? Got these little passageways, walkways. Yeah, it looks like blocked out on all of them. Except for this one. That's Sarah's room? Yeah, Sarah's room. Interesting. And that one didn't open as well. And it just goes to this. Alright, well, I definitely need to go and make some changes. But overall, I mean, the ship can be flown. The Space Beast. Well, it's not a pretty ship. Oh, hey fellas. Jeez. Wow, just smoked me. Didn't get to go see the, what's going on here. Oh, I know. I don't have any of the things here. Okay, so, where are we at here? Engine, shield, grav drive, particle weapons, EM weapons, particle beams. There we go. Alright, well, this is a ship under construction. Not quite where we want it to be yet, but it's a start. So this is the Space Beast, Part 1. The fulminators. Alright, well, thanks for liking and subscribing. Thanks for coming back. And come back for more Starfield ship builds and information.